for me, it was good to see a school kind of stand up and say no to like all this big time hotshot that wants all this money. Like they want to have people that actually want to be a part of a team, and there's no I in team, but there's a. I'm not gonna say what Kobe said. But.
There's an ME in there, motherfucker.
Welcome back, You Don't Know Ball podcast fans. Welcome back to your weekly episode of the You Don't Know Ball podcast. We are joined today with Caleb and Alex. Caleb making his return back to the show after his 2 or 3 week abstinence. But,
yeah, it feels good to be back, gentlemen. I'm Tanner now, and I'm ready to talk ball.
Welcome back to the booth.
It was a 2 to 3 week study that I went on, actually. So I should be to a higher level. I've ascended.
Ascended to a higher knowledge of ball.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so it's good to have him back. Jack isn't joining us today because of God knows what reason. But
probably line dancing today or something.
Something. Fifth Street Bar and Playable probably popping at 4:30 on a Thursday. But we got a lot of stuff to get to. It's been a chaotic week with spring games, transfer portals, retirements, NBA playoffs, Western Michigan winning the national championship for hockey. A lot of things have happened this week. So we're going to try to cover as much as we can in hopefully under an hour, but this might be a longer episode, but we will see. But
yeah, put down your over-unders now. I got it going over.
I think I got it over as well.
I'll be different. I'd say under. Probably not, though. Probably won't happen.
Yeah, dude's just going to shut down his Riverside and say, all right, boys, that's good enough.
All right, that's good enough. All right, so let's get into our first topic. We have the NBA playoffs. We had the play-in games last night. If you want to hear Caleb's breakdown on that, go over to the Over the Line podcast for a 12-minute segment about the play-in games that happened yesterday. He went 2 for 2, by the way. Congrats to Caleb.
Yeah, it was definitely. It was more of a prediction, just kind of guessing what was going to happen. But I did go 2 for 2. We have 2 10 seeds fighting for playoff spots, which is the first time that's ever happened. So if both of them get in there, that'll be play-in history right there. So, even though it is play-in and the games are relatively a little bit boring, history can still be made. So I'm looking forward to see what happens there. I really hope both 10 seeds sneak in. I'd rather see the Heat in the playoffs than the Hawks. Mm-hmm. And I'd also, I think, rather see the Mavericks in the playoffs over the Grizzlies just because of what the Mavericks have gone through this season.
Yeah.
They've been through hell, losing their superstar. Both their star players then get hurt. So if they still make it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. People are out for Nico's throat, though. The Mavericks owner, they're just chanting "Fire Nico." They're painting murals about how they want him gone. And then it doesn't help that Luka came into the Mavericks building and dropped 47 and 5 or whatever.
Yeah, no, I watched that game live, and that was just incredible. I mean, Luka, for how obese he looks out there, he is a baller, bro. I can't. He's top 3 in the NBA, and you can't deny it. You just can't.
Yeah. He's incredible. But back to the playoffs. So the Pistons are on a lock, right? And then the Lakers, I'm guessing, are in. I don't know. If you want to talk about the playoff record, go ahead, Caleb.
Well, is there any team you guys are interested in hearing where they're at and you want to go to? Just Pistons, yeah. So they're locked at 6th seed right now against the Knicks, and that series has a lot of debate. It's pretty even, and you wouldn't think it just because the Knicks are a top 3 seed in the East, but. Mm-hmm. Pistons went 3-1 against them in the regular season. So I think that has a lot of people optimistic about the Pistons, but I don't know. The Knicks are proven first round winners every time they've been in the playoffs, especially with Coach Thibodeau. So I think personally I have the Knicks winning the series, but we'll get to that later. But I don't know. There's just a lot more questions with the Pistons than the Knicks. Yeah. And you can talk about regular season all you want, but playoffs is completely different. No one on this Pistons team has playoff experience, or a couple of them do, but most of our starters don't. Schroeder does. Schroeder, Malik Beasley. Who knows? Maybe that changes things, but I can't see a world where I don't know. It's gonna be a really grit and grind series, but I think the Knicks will handle them pretty easily, to be honest. but I am excited as a Pistons fan to see them there.
If the Pistons win that first round, Detroit's going up in flames that night.
Yeah, no, for real. But we might see a Lions sort of exit here, like competitive in all the first halves of the games. But will they be able to play solid ball for 48 minutes at this high of a stage against one of the best defensive teams in the league? Team just filled to the brim with stars. I don't know. It's going to be hard. Yeah. Definitely their backs are against the wall.
Oh, absolutely. I saw like a couple like things about how the Pistons are limiting sales outside of Michigan for all the Pistons home games, and then how the Pistons and Knicks are going to get a fight in the middle, and they're like all the games are in. So I'm looking forward to that series. That'll be pretty electric.
It'll be entertaining. I think it'll be like it'll be a chippy series, but I also think on paper, like at the end, you'll see like Knicks probably will win in like 5 or 6 games. But if you go deeper and look at all the actual games, they'll all be pretty close, chippy, back and forth. But experience matters. So that's what it comes down to for me. But as a fan, I'll be glued to my seat, eyes on the screen every second of every game. I'll be there.
Oh, for sure. What other teams? The Warriors made the playoffs, right? Batman and I guess Robin. Jimmy Butler dropped 44 points as he's claiming himself to be Robin. I don't know.
Yeah, it was that was a crazy game too. They almost blew it, but Steph and Jimmy, I think if they're alone on separate teams, like everyone was saying, if Jimmy Butler's on your team with the Heat, you got a shot. If Steph Curry is on your team with the Warriors, you have a shot at winning. And now they're both on the same team, so I have them beating the Rockets too. Like I think, like it's crazy how the Rockets are a 2 seed, and like if you go on betting sites, like the Warriors' odds to win are just so much higher. It's insane.
I didn't know the Rockets were that high of a seed. I didn't know they were having that good of a season.
Yeah, they flew under my radar too, man. They're very solid. They're stacked depth wise, but it kind of is a Pistons thing too. It's the first time they've been in the playoffs.
Since James Harden.
First time they've been in the playoffs since James Harden. You're right. So it's another thing that comes down to experience, and Warriors are better than the Knicks in my opinion. So take your pick there.
I'm not betting against Steph. I can tell you that right now.
Right, but the Rockets did have a really interesting regular season game, like probably a couple weeks ago. They held Steph Curry to 3 points, but really bad. He made 1 3 throughout the whole game. Amen Thompson locked him up. They came up with a good defensive scheme, but like I just said with the Knicks, you can talk regular season all you want, but you got to go with experience here. And Warriors aren't done. They have a really solid squad, even if it looks bad on paper.
Yeah, so that'd be a pretty fun series to look into. I know our 11-year-old brother Levi is all over this.
Oh, is he a Warriors fan?
He's a huge Steph fan.
Of course.
He's got the shirt, the jersey, and the shorts. He always goes play the basketball in that. It's pretty funny. But he's all over this Warriors team. He's looking forward to seeing if they can pull over.
How many year difference is it between you guys and Levi?
So we're 22 and he's 11.
Okay, so that's crazy because that's an 11-year difference. When we were in like elementary school, Steph Curry could have been our favorite player, and now he's still like elementary school's favorite player. He's Alex's favorite player too. That's crazy.
No, it's Jordan Poole, man. It's Jordan Poole.
Oh God.
Same thing.
Which kind of Jordan Poole? Like courtside baddie?
Courtside Battage Pool. What are you talking about?
Washington Wizards Jordan Poole or Warriors Jordan Poole?
Michigan Jordan Poole.
Oh, Michigan Jordan Poole. Okay. That's a throwback.
NBA playoff Jordan Poole.
Right.
He was a baller.
It is crazy the drop off he had. He was so good on the Warriors.
Yep.
And then Draymond punched him in the face to get rid of him.
What the hell? Draymond. You know who I'm excited to see in the playoffs? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander not get every single call ever.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, no, that's a great
bunch
point.
Of teams are. Yeah.
That's a great point. And I think I was watching the play-in games, and the refs, they didn't have a quick whistle at all. Mm-hmm. There were plenty of times where dudes would just get hammered in the Mavericks and Kings game, and they weren't calling it. And it was really refreshing to see. You know, every bucket had to be earned. Players had to play smart. And who knows, maybe Shai is just that big of a star now. He still gets every call, but I'm also excited to see how that first round goes. Just to see how quick that whistle is. But
don't be cheering against my OKC Thunder.
Well, I'm not.
I'm cheering against them.
Dude, low key, if the Mavericks make it, I'll be cheering for the Mavs. But
hell no, hell no.
No,
You're
they'll get
speaking like
swept,
Nate.
They'll get swept, but I'll be cheering for them.
No, I'm not as big as a Thunder fan as I appear to be. I don't watch them at all. I just know Shai is good, and that's pretty much the only player I know on our team.
Yeah,
give me prime Westbrook back.
Yeah, no, for real. You should be a Nuggets fan then, if you're mostly Westbrook.
I know.
But I guess that's another interesting series is Nuggets and Clippers. You have a team that in the Clippers who have both their star players back. Kawhi Leonard's finally back, believe it or not. Too bad Jack's not here. He would know. But, yeah, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard are playing at all-star levels. You have the Nuggets who just fired their coach, like with 4 games left in the regular season. And a team that just looks absolutely so disjointed and so just not ready for playoffs. Like, dude, it's going to be a great series, and any of them could win, despite them having Jokic, probably the best player in the NBA. He could go out first round very easily.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be a pretty fun playoff. Is the full bracket revealed yet or no?
Yeah, it's revealed. We're just waiting. There's 2 more play-in games. I think both of them are tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for Alex's new favorite team, the Magic, to play the Celtics. I think Celtics are going to mollywop them, but it'll be a fun series too. I think it'll be a good test for them.
Do you think the Celtics go back-to-back championships or no?
I honestly do think they will. I think they will, and I think next year is the right time. Like, we see it a lot. Like I think now is OKC's time to really go through all of it, make the finals, lose a close finals to the Celtics, and then next year OKC will probably win it. I just think it is building blocks. It's the Celtics' time to win it again. I think the Cavs found lightning in a bottle and will always be a top team, but I think there's just no world to me where the Celtics don't come out of the East. The East is not that good still.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate to see it, but it's always kind of been like that. I feel like the West has always been more of like a powerhouse like division.
Yeah,
compared to the East.
Because more players would love to live out west where it's warm.
Yeah.
And where Hollywood is and all that.
Yeah, damn right they would.
All we're missing is a team in Las Vegas. So. But yeah, that's another interesting point. It's just like the East has always been super underwhelming. But then again, you had LeBron running it for years too. So.
Alex, did you say the Las Vegas Gamblers?
Yeah, that's the new NBA team.
I know. I was going to shout it out.
That's funny.
That'd be the best one.
That would be a dope name.
And then they could have Draymond Green on that team. And then there's be a bunch of...
MJ would come out of retirement for that one.
Yeah, he probably would.
The entire stadium's just got slot machines everywhere.
Dude,
Nobody's really
there'd be
watching
slots
the game.
at your seat, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
No one's even watching the game. They're just playing slots.
No, dude, I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised because the Raiders are there, so why haven't they put... Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't put an NBA team there.
I'm sure it's a thought now.
Sure, we'll see one in the next, 10 years. I would think so.
It should be next 5, dude. I think NBA is like way overdue for expansion.
Yeah. People, what's that guy's name? You know, like the guy who like sets up a booth and like takes all these questions. God,
Charlie Kirk.
Oh yeah.
His argument of like who the GOAT is because like when was the NBA more popular back then or now?
Yeah. I've seen that video. It was that guy with the dreads who asked him the question.
Yeah. Like
that was funny.
I feel like having an expansion team would kind of hopefully like help the ratings boost in the NBA and popularity.
It definitely would, and it would definitely even out the player, like the pool of players too. You have the OKC Thunder who have a bench that could be a starting 5 to the Wizards. You know or the Celtics. They have so many people off their bench who could be stars on other teams. And that's why you're seeing such high scores in the NBA too, and that's why it makes it kind of unwatchable because there's just no defense in the regular season.
Right. It's hard to watch, but We'll see what the NBA can do. I think this playoffs will get a lot. It always does. I feel like the playoffs always get a lot more eyes than the regular season.
Yeah,
because it's better basketball. It's just better basketball.
No one's watching 82 games of a basketball season. They probably just watch like 20 or 30. Unless you're Caleb and you watch like 50 of them. But,
no, I watched probably, I would say 70 games of Pistons ball this year.
Okay.
Came with a lot of heartbreak and a lot of excitement. But I do try to watch like the NBA does like ESPN like showcase games or whatever, like the game of the week on Wednesdays. So I would watch that, and just whatever games are on national TV, I'll watch those because it's fun to watch LeBron still and stuff. But that's every once in a blue moon. I don't know who's buying, and plus they can't catch a lot of these ratings because a lot of people are illegally streaming the games, which all power to them.
Yeah.
So they can't catch those numbers. So I'm sure there's a huge chunk of numbers they're just missing. And a lot of these narratives that like, oh, the NBA's lost its ratings. Like, no, people are still watching the games.
Stream East.
There's just no point to buy League Pass for $80.
Yeah.
Right.
I could go on the Stream East and get a virus bug, but still watch the game.
Yes.
That one virus could be so worth it when my Pistons go up 4-0 in the series. But so that's our look into the NBA playoffs. We're gonna do our picks for the games at the end of the episode, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, just our first round picks probably.
Yeah,
Yep. We'll do next round 2 weeks from now.
Yep. So we're gonna shift our focus to another a big time story that happened this week. We have Nico Iamaleava. I don't remember how to say his last name, but that entire transfer portal craziness that happened this week was insane. We had
stupid.
Well, we'll get to our reactions to it. So, if people who don't know, Nico Iamaleava was a quarterback for the Tennessee Vols. He was a starter. He was making a boatload of money at Tennessee through his NIL campaign. Shocked everybody when he held out of practice because he wanted more, like an NIL, more money from his NIL.
Yep, he wanted more money from NIL. Yep.
So he held out of practice on Friday. That next Saturday, Tennessee comes out and says they're moving on without Nico, and then Nico hits the portal. So Nico, I think yesterday, just committed to UCLA Bruins, where he's only going to be making $900,000 through his NIL when he was making $2 million at Tennessee. And his family's like, it was not because of the money, it was because we don't like the offense. Yeah, right. At Tennessee was a playoff team last year. And there was even reports that he was going to hold out the playoff game because they wouldn't have paid him that much. And I just think this is insane. When is this? I don't know. This kid's younger than me, and he's making millions of dollars. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to hold out like this is the pros. So, Nico, you messed up. You better ball out at UCLA to prove. I know Caleb's happy because he's a big UCLA fan. So when I sent him this, he was all over it. And
once I found out he was a former 5-star, yeah.
But I think Nico messed up. So, and I don't see how this works out in his favor unless he goes crazy and wins the Heisman at UCLA. But I don't know if UCLA has the weapons like Tennessee did. I know UCLA has got Rico Flores, Notre Dame standout freshman receiver from 2 years ago, but he didn't do anything last year. But all right, give me your thoughts about what you think about Nico's situation.
All right, my thoughts is that Nico he tarnished his reputation for the rest of his college career, leaving Tennessee with a playoff roster, a great head coach, to a UCLA team that has good players, but their coach is not proven yet at all, and he's going to make less money than he was at Tennessee. Yeah, he's an idiot for doing that. His father's corrupt. He is corrupt, and the agent is all corrupt. Also, I heard Brandon Walker say that he's just blaming it on the offense is just a cop-out answer because it's not the offense. The offense was not the issue. You only threw 20 touchdowns, 11 of them were against basically FCS opponents. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And you didn't show up against Alabama. The defense did. You got the credit because you actually beat them. You got blown out by I don't know who, but you were the reason that you lost. Yeah, and also you're telling me that half the roster was worried about what they're gonna make next year in the NIL, and you're in the playoffs and you're playing Ohio State, and you could have beaten Ohio State probably easily, and your head's up your ass looking about for NIL money and not worried about actually making a national championship. So it's all a mess. Tennessee did the right thing, and getting the cancer out of that program is probably the right call by Coach Coach Heupel? Yeah, Heupel. Yeah.
Heupel.
Yeah, Alex, I think that's a great point. And I would go even further that he sort of put a detriment on his pro career as well, because who wants to draft a guy who clearly only cares about the money? Exactly. When you're in championship, I guess, situation and you're threatening to hold out in practice over some money that's already a crazy amount you wouldn't have had just 5 years ago.
Yep.
Right.
Like if you were born 5 years earlier, you're not making anything. And I think this sort of speaks to college football as a whole. We saw over almost 3,000 players enter the transfer portal this season, which is probably a record.
The biggest ever.
Mostly for the money. And I think college sports in general, NIL, it's great. Like there's two sides. Everyone's saying, oh, you should be able to make money. But there's been a few select situations where like someone was going to go pro and then their career got ended by an injury and then they went home to where they had no money. Yes, those are tragic stories, but it's just completely ruining the integrity, the loyalty, the just absolute honor of it that it would be to be a college athlete at like your dream school when none of those dudes there are probably had dreams of going there. They're just there for the money. And it's it's pay to win in college football now. It's crazy. And basketball too.
Yep. Oh, it's I was going to ask you guys a question after this little segment, which will correlate to the next segment we talk about. But for me, it was good to see a school kind of stand up and say no to like all this big time hot shot that wants all this money. Like they want to have people that actually want to be a part of a team, and there's no I in team, but there's a. I'm not gonna say what Kobe said. But,
there's an ME in there, motherfucker.
But I don't know. It was good to see a team actually say no, and like maybe that more people will do this now because we saw Tulane, UNC, USC all pull out of the race for Nico pretty quickly because they knew like they could. But one, they aren't going to pay him $4 million for a quarterback that can't show up in the big game. And two, just they don't want that player on that team. I mean, I don't know. It was good to see a team say no. So congrats for Coach Heupel and Tennessee for making the right decision, even though if it costs them a season. But there's plenty of good guys in the portal now, which I'll get to in a second. Yeah. And shout out Dan Lanning for telling Coach Heupel about this Nico's campaign looking around for NIL. Dan Lanning was the one that apparently tipped him off. So respect level for Dan Lanning is upgraded.
Yeah. I don't know if you listened to the episode with Brandon Walker. He was not on that. He doesn't have the same viewpoint as us. He thinks that, I'm going to say like, because Dan Lanning does the same thing. Like he goes get other kids from other programs all the time. But if a player that isn't on his team tries to do it, oh look, he's trying to do what I'm doing. He's like the biggest snitch ever. So it's just, I don't know. I see where he's coming from, but like I respect Dan Lanning for actually trying to step up. And
it's one thing if Nico went to Oregon and transferred there. That's one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he was just trying to show.
I
agree. Your quarterback's looking for more opportunities outside the program, and he's not actually trying at practice. But I don't know.
Yep.
But so with that, let's move into our second part of the transfer portal news. So we've had Caleb mention this: over 3,000 players into the transfer portal. We have the players like Nico looking for more money, and then you have the players like Steve Angeli, who knows he's probably not going to get a starting opportunity at the school he's at. And he wants to play. And he's actually he has a capability of being a starting quarterback in the college football. And then you have the players like Jaden Ott, who just transfers out of nowhere. And then the entire California Golden Bears running back room transfers with him.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
There's three kinds of transfers that are just, I don't know, weird or good. And I want to know your guys' thoughts. Is the transfer portal actually helping college football? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I want to get like an actual answer. Is it helping college football or is it hurting college football? Who wants to go first?
Man, I would say it definitely makes it all just a lot more complex. And it's becoming what like the NBA and NFL are. It's player-ran leagues now. It's not run by the business that created it anymore. So, I mean, it's totally up to the players. I wouldn't say it's neither. I guess it kind of is ruining it for the, I guess, personal connections to teams and stuff like that, but it's definitely helping in ratings and stuff like that. Like college football ratings are probably the highest they've ever been.
Oh, for sure. The last 2 seasons have been ridiculous.
But yeah, it's just hard when you don't see it's hard when you see 7-year QBs out there balling still, it's no longer freshman to senior. You're seeing third-year grad students out there balling like Bo Nix and stuff like that. So
Alan Bowman, who just got into the pros, and he was in college for 8 years. Then we got the Miami tight end who was in there for 9 years and ran a 5.840 at his pro day because he's got no knees to run on. So I get what you're saying, Caleb.
Yeah, I mean I think it does both. Definitely, if you work in college basketball, you're making or I guess any college sport really, you're making a lot of money because just the landscape's been a lot harder to navigate, especially with how many players are out there and how many people you got to keep your eyes on. It's all just expanded and grown. So, yeah, props to you if you work in college football.
Yeah, no kidding. Alex, want to say your thoughts before I say mine?
I don't think the transfer portal is ruining college football. I think NIL is. Because let's go back to 2021 when NIL was first coming up, and transfer portal is probably a season in from now on into now, and we thought the transfer portal was a good thing because we're getting kids to come out to situations from programs that they weren't going to play in to programs that they will have some significant play time. But the NIL aspect of the transfer portal is ruining college football because every team I don't know how many good players. There is a lot of great players, but any great players that would have this the love for the university. Let's say I don't want to say. I mean the love of
JJ.
Yeah, JJ McCarthy. He loved Michigan. Blake Corum loved Michigan. Let's say. Man, Donovan Edwards loved Michigan. I'm sure there's Notre Dame guy. Ian Book loved Notre Dame. UCLA.
Jeremiah Love turned down an $8 million deal from Georgia and turned down this offer to stay at Notre Dame. So I don't know. Georgia offered $8 million for him to jump into the portal.
Yeah. So we don't see. I don't know how many good hearted players that want to play for the brand, not be for themselves, than what we were accustomed to growing up with. Because I remember Jabril Peppers that loved Michigan. I mean, it was a prime time of college football when players that loved the university were making the sport great. And now that we're slowly turning into a pro league, it's kind of sad to see. And I hope that somehow the NCAA gets a handle on this.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely lowers the level of competition too. I mean, I love the idea of a 12-team college football playoff. I think that was awesome this year, but I mean, still, you saw Ohio State just win with. I mean, Notre Dame gave them a good game.
Yeah.
Right.
No hate, but
no, don't worry, I'm not.
You just see Ohio State always in there, and it's just I wish the level of dude, seeing TCU end up there a couple years ago, that was dope, but then they just lost, and I think the level of competition definitely has been lost with the growth of NIL and transfer portal and stuff like that.
My opinions on this, I both agree with what you guys have both said, but I think the transfer portal needs more players like Steve Angeli that is looking for a starting opportunity because he knows he's got a starting season in him. He knows he's a good a good quarterback. It's just that the people at the program he's at now are
better than him.
Are better than him. I'm a huge Steve Angeli fan.
Supporter.
I supported him. He basically saved our season against Penn State. But for him to see him transfer, it kind of hurt my soul. But I understand where he's coming from, and I'd do the same thing if I was him. Not really, but but there's players. There's two different players in my head. There's players who are chasing a bag, and then there's players who are chasing opportunities. And I don't know if there's any way we could split it up or get a control over that, or without NIL getting in the middle of it, because Steve Angeli didn't enter the transfer portal because of the NIL. He's entering to get an opportunity. Nico did. Yeah. Nico wanted a bag, and he kind of blew up in his face. But there's more players like that too.
Cal's entire running back group was also like Nico.
Right. So, Jaden Ott chancing to, where'd he go? Oklahoma. I'm sure that since Oklahoma's a bigger, well-known brand, he's getting a hefty payload. So, I don't know. I don't think the transfer portal is technically ruining college football, but if there's any way where we can get a control over the amount of guys getting into the transfer portal and see if they're transferring for money or for opportunities, I don't know. It'd help, but it's out of control. Yeah. NIL is out of control, and the transfer portal is out of control. But
I was just going to say that. That's the best way to put it. It's out of control. It's exponentially growing, and they have all the money in the world, so why not use it to try to make more money? And that's
right.
So what it is, man. It's business now, so it's what it's come to. And, dude, that's crazy. You can offer a player in college $8 million to transfer to your school.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Insane.
It's insane. It's absolutely
Try being a high school recruit and getting offered that type of money, too.
Oh, dude, I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for me, if I was ever offered to play at Notre Dame, I'd be the most loyal son of a bitch on the team. I'd never leave that school.
Yeah.
But there's not many people like that have that mentality anymore, and it's kind of sad to see because loyalty and school pride is what made college football so great, and I think we're slowly starting to lose that. But
right,
maybe we're wrong. But
yeah, you're seeing it in these rivalry games too. Michigan's whooping the shit out of Michigan State every year, so it's.
I hope that is the case every year.
Yeah, I feel like that game just hasn't matters as much. I feel like the last time it really mattered was 2022, and then after that, Michigan just started whooping them, and now it's like they have such a high lead of talent over State. It's night and day what the outcome's going to be.
Yep, you could look at each program, and each program they have Michigan players on the team, but you could definitely see the growth of having out-of-state players that don't really understand the rivalry like our fan bases do. So
yeah,
it's kind of sad. I think the NCAA is working too slow to catch up to this issue, and
NCAA has no power over college football anymore.
No,
at all.
And they need to get control back, or this is just gonna be an entire mess. Charlie Baker, you are the reason the college football is failing.
No.
You hear that, Charlie?
You hear that?
The college football playoff committee and whoever's in the CFP have complete control over college football. And in the next 3 to 5 years, college football is going to break itself off from the NCAA, so they'll have absolutely no power over them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to be excited about that or if I'm supposed to be
not if it's going to be like this.
About it.
It's not even going to be – it won't be a college league anymore. It's going to be a mini pro league. It'll be a league that rivals the NFL at that point.
It'll literally be an intramural club.
Yes.
I mean, college football is already stealing views from the NFL on Saturdays, and the NFL is wondering what the problem is. It's because college football is becoming a huge name now. It's big. Everything it's blowing up the last 3 years thanks to the playoffs. Last 10, yeah. Playoffs have helped it significantly, and now the 12-team playoff, that's going to get all the eyes in the country, especially for I don't know.
We should do a 64 team playoff. Steal views in March Madness.
Oh God, can you imagine? We'd have to start that football season in like week 3.
Yeah.
Or the playoffs. Get 2 regular season games and go to 64 team playoff. Oh,
dude, your season's just one game.
Well,
you win to get in.
You win to move on.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we finished 0-2. We didn't make the tournament. Hell of a senior year, guys. Damn. But shout out Steve Angeli. Thanks for everything you did in Notre Dame Nation. Looking forward to you being great. And go win. That's all. Yeah. That's all I want to say.
Absolutely.
Steve broke my heart, but I know damn well it wasn't an easy decision for him to make.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. What year is he?
He's a 5th year.
Senior. He'd be a senior this year. And all the Notre Dame players are posting on their story about how he's leaving, like broken hearts and like crying. Like damn, you could just tell how much that he meant to that Notre Dame team. So
Notre Dame's program is like one of the. I'm not gonna say this about any other program, but like with Notre Dame's program, you could tell that they are all there for the same like goal. Like they love the university and they want to win as a team, not just win as themselves. So
Marcus Freeman has really helped with that. He's been a fantastic coach for Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's one of the deepest tradition oriented schools in the country, or
cathedral of college football, man.
And I don't know, you can tell it's gonna be. We need more schools like that, and I don't know. I'm happy about NIL, but I made $155 off NIL when I played here. I was happy with that. So Nico, take your $12 million. Shove it up your. But no, all right. Let's move on to our next conversation. We have still on college football. Sorry, there's a lot of things that happen. But Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are getting their numbers retired at the University of Colorado this weekend and a lot of people were not happy about it, especially mainly Colorado alums such as Joel Klatt, that one dude that has that TikTok lineman school or football school, I don't know his name. And then there's just a couple of people. So
what'd they say? I didn't see what they said. I didn't see what Joel said.
Joel was he was like, I don't like it at all because I don't understand what they did. I mean, Shedeur went 13-10 as a starting quarterback and had a blowout loss in the last game of his career in Colorado. Sure, Travis Hunter won the Heisman, but what else did they win? What else did they?
Nothing.
And then a lot of people don't even think Travis Hunter deserved the Heisman. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I honestly think that Colorado should not have done this. It's terrible it's not terrible, but it's a terrible outlook on the alumni who went there before them and did more, but didn't get the number retired. And then the coach's son, I guess you consider both coaches' sons, just walked in there for 2 seasons, gave them a 3-9 season and a 9-3 season, and then gets their numbers retired just because, I don't know, they're coaches' sons perhaps, but I definitely don't think they deserved it.
I think Travis. I don't know. I think it's really close with Travis, but I just don't even know how Shedeur can be considered.
Right.
Wow. I think Travis has a legit argument for winning a Heisman and just being the impact player that he was on both sides of the ball. I think that's extremely impressive. But for only 2 seasons, man, I think throw one more on there and it's a guaranteed thing. But 2, I think I'm still on the fence about it. Shedeur, no way.
Yeah, no way.
But Travis has that argument and that the accolades and the skill and just the memorable plays and how good he was. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
There's definitely more of an argument for Travis, but to come and have it right after he leaves Colorado, like the season after. No, that it should not even be considered him even getting retired. His number retired in the next 5 years. I mean, there's a guy who won the Heisman. There's a quarterback that led Colorado to 2 top 5 seasons, bunch of wins, and he's still not have his number retired yet. So, Alex, go ahead.
I'm right with you guys. I don't think Shedeur deserved this at all. I mean, and even Jackson State, he didn't really do that. He didn't win a championship there either. So he didn't do really anything in college other than have the all-time passing whatever season records, and that will be broken in maybe 5 years when another quarterback comes. Maybe the next one they have now, the freshman that they have now, will break it. Who knows? But for Travis Hunter, I could see the argument for it because he is the Heisman winner. He also played both sides of the ball. He made an impact, but it's kind of tarnished because they went 3-9 and then they went 9-3. They didn't even get over 10 wins. So it's definitely arrogant by the Colorado football program to retire their numbers this early. But I like the Travis Hunter one a little bit more than actually a lot more than Shador's. I will never like Shador's number retired. I think I think the school board needs to be on this decision, but I don't know. Maybe Dion is like the president now because he's the biggest name on campus, but who knows? I mean, I usually like what Dion preaches about Colorado football and what they do for their players and everything, but just this one's just a hit. This was a miss, and they need to. I don't know if this is. I don't know what the reaction is going to be for their spring game this weekend or whatever it is from their fan base or anything.
I'm sure their fan base is going to be excited about it, but still, Travis Hunter's right out of school. I don't agree. Eventually, possibly, yes, depending. Mm-hmm. He had a great college career, but doesn't mean he gets his jersey retired as soon as he gets out of school. And then Shador, for me, he's got to win at the next level for him even to be considered. But the fact that they did it as soon as he graduates, it's insane to me because he hasn't even done anything that great.
Yep.
I mean, Joe Burrow's jersey's not even retired yet. He won the Heisman, and he went to the Super Bowl, for God's sakes. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Let's just go retire J.J. McCarthy's number for winning a national championship and barely having any passing yards.
Ian Book's the winningest quarterback in Notre Dame history. Does not have his jersey retired.
Yeah, that is crazy. You know whose jersey should just get retired right now is Ashton Genty's.
Genty.
Yes.
That's loyalty right there to a program.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's probably making so much money, but that's loyalty, man.
Yep.
Yes.
He was the only candidate that wore his team gear to the ceremony or whatever, the pre-ceremony or whatever it was. And
because he just loves Boise State.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to what our transfer portal thing was. I'm sure he was offered by all these big-time FBS schools.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
he still stayed with Boise State because he loved Boise State. And look where he took them. Even though it was a disappointing playoff game for them, he still brought the Boise State of all teams to the damn playoffs.
Yeah, the Blue Field team. That's what they're known as.
Yeah. Yep. So
I was also gonna say this earlier. Like, how is college football 25 or college football 13 better at leveling the playing field than real life?
Yeah.
Like, you would think, dude, simulate 2 years in college football and Troy will make the college football playoff. It's great.
If Troy ever makes the playoffs, I would be so shocked. I just don't think it will ever happen.
They didn't let a 13-0 Florida State team into the playoffs. They let a 9-3 Troy team into the 12-man or whatever 16-man playoff. What the?
Yeah, no way. But all right, well that kind of we can move on to our next one. This will be a short segment. This is just a major thank you for all the things that Lee Corso has done over his long career as a broadcaster. He brought college football game day to what it is today. An iconic broadcaster for ESPN. He announced his retirement today, and his last show will be August 31st, whatever game they pick. But college game day would not be the same without him, and it makes me sad to see him go. But it was time for him, and he had a legendary career. So just a major thank you from the college football community and the sports community, because you did so much more than just put a mascot head on. You inspired and just made every morning of Saturdays and Fridays or even just so electric. So thank you, Lee Corso, for everything you've done to the sport.
Yes.
All right. Next, I don't know if you guys want to talk about this as much, but I'm going to. The Masters tournament happened this last weekend, last weekend.
You lost $10.
Nope, I actually came out even.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I didn't lose money, but I didn't gain anything. But Rory McIlroy wins the Masters, completing his Grand Slam. I don't know. Don't ask me what every golf championship there has to be for the Grand Slam, because I don't know. There's only four. There's like 4 tournament wins that complete it. My girlfriend and I, Lily, were watching Rory, and she was tweaking when Rory missed that putt on 18 to win it the first time, and he missed it, so he had to go to a playoff against Justin Rose. She was on the edge of her seat, and I was too, and I'm not the biggest golf fan either, but the Masters tournament was electric, for what I can say. And congrats to Rory. I mean, he played out of his mind. I really wanted Bryson DeChambeau to win, but he played out of his mind.
Yep.
That last day, it was. I mean, he didn't play out of his mind, but it was up and down. It was a lot of fun to watch. But,
it is crazy the situations. The pro golfers, like we know Rory's great because he's hit the Grand Slam, but it is crazy what these pro golfers can do. They can get themselves in literally the worst situations possible off like their drive, and it's like, dude, how's he getting out of that? And then, dude, you just see him stripe it from the rocks onto the green. It's crazy. It's like they'd rather hit from there. It's just it's nuts sometimes. But yeah, I watched some of Rory's highlights while at work today to prepare for this segment, and man, he was missing some easy putts. It looked like for a pro.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, this guy won. But watching his like final 3 rounds, it was just cool seeing, like you were saying, Isaac, the crowd behind him. Like you could tell, like this guy's been at this for a while, and they knew what was on the line for him, and to see him get it was really cool. Like, seeing him win and just celebrate at the end, like almost made me tear up. It was cool because you could just tell like how much it meant to him. So that's what sports should be about right there.
Yeah, it just all the emotions just from everybody around him, even Rory. He was just, I don't know. I can't imagine why he felt like when he finally got that huge pressure off his shoulders.
Yeah.
So, but great great tournament. Great. It's probably one of the best sporting events of the year, in my opinion. That gets an A+. It beats it. I really like the college football playoff. Oh, I'm just kidding.
You can't compare the college football playoff.
Everybody,
to the Masters.
no. I'm talking about the Instagram post I saw. Some person rated like all the major sports events and gave the Masters an A+, gave the Super Bowl like an F, and then it gave the college football playoffs a B-, and then it gave the March Madness like a B+. Which I personally like the college football playoffs just a little bit more. No, by a lot more than the Masters, because I'm a huge college football fan. But the Masters are electric, and I can't wait to watch it again. Hopefully I could go to Augusta one time. It really got me into the golfing mood, so that's what I want to do. Because then I'm gonna get really pissed because I can't do what Rory did.
That was all I had to say.
We gotta go to Crestview, boys.
We'll do
You don't know ball live.
Golf.
Oh God, that episode would be terrible. God.
We'll go live for that. We'll go live for that episode.
Oh, jeez.
That'd be funny as hell. But congrats to Rory McIlroy. Deserved it. One of the elites now. Kind of achieved GOAT status. Even Tiger was the actual GOAT, Tiger Woods, congratulated him.
Yeah.
So
he's one of 6 to do the Grand Slam. So pretty cool.
Electric.
Congratulations, Rory.
Yep. So Masters tournament, electric. Moving on to another thing was electric for the entire state of Michigan. I'm just kidding. The city of Kalamazoo. The Western Michigan Broncos pull off a national championship win in college hockey. What a moment for Kalamazoo.
And they've been at it. They've been good for a while. So it's about time they finally got it done. And they whooped Boston College, too.
It wasn't even close. The game before they had was a lot more intense than the actual national championship.
Yeah, that one went into overtime, I think.
I think it went into a shootout, didn't it, or no?
Yeah. No, it was just overtime.
No, it was just overtime. Yep.
Western Michigan, they just looked like they're so ready for that moment for the national championship stage. They just went out there and just dominated every single part of the hockey. Like hockey, I don't really know hockey that well. I might have Braden Craig kind of insert like a 10-minute clip of him talking about it. We'll see. But that was insane to see. Like, my mom was all happy about it because she's an alum from there. I'm sure Dunham and all your boys from Dunham went to Western, right?
Yeah,
Okay. All your
Dude,
boys
he
from
lives
Western.
and breathes Western. Come on. But yeah, no,
sure...
he was there, and I've been to Western games. I went to one this year with him just when I was down visiting and whatnot. But watching their team in person, I've seen them lose more games than I've seen them win in person. So really cool to see that they were able to do this, and I'm just very happy for my friends more than anything. They love that hockey team down there, so it's cool to see them do it, and for somewhere so close to where we all grew up, to win something on a national level is awesome.
Yep.
And what's cool? Oh, go ahead, Isaac.
Are you gonna say it too?
I was gonna say something about how they spent no NIL money on that roster at all. It was all strictly people that wanted to be there and play for Western hockey, which is pretty
not
cool.
a dime on NIL, and they win the national championship.
Yep.
There's no way college football would be able to do that, but it's so cool to see that a
Michigan
hockey team do that. Shut up, Alex. This paid $12.5 million to a true freshman who hasn't taken a snap yet.
Yeah, well, it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Did you see that man's passes in spring game?
Yeah, I'm about to go see him.
He does look good. All right, so congrats to Western Michigan. That was electric. That was awesome to see. Really happy for them. Our last segment of the day, before we get into our picks, I recently went to the Notre Dame spring game this last Saturday. Got to see Notre Dame's team in action. It was a lot of fun. Alex was there with me. I got a bunch of autographs on my jersey right here, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Shout out Sheldon Day, Troy Pride Jr., Anthony Knapp, Mitchell Evans, Jack Kaiser, and Riley Mills, and a couple other guys that I can't really name right now. But spring game was a lot of fun. But what I took, kind of thoughts that I took from that game, defense looks good. Before they started rotating players in, they were bending, but they weren't breaking, so that was good to see. I thought all three quarterbacks looked good, but CJ Carr really stood out the most, and I think he just won the starting job because Steve Angeli just transferred. But a surprise for me was like Kenny Minchie was balling too. He was a super athletic quarterback that looked he was lights out on most of his passes, and it's going to be a really fun QB battle seeing the fall between CJ Carr and Kenny Minchie, whoever goes out first. But I have a couple other things. Jeremiah Love didn't play because he's dealing with hamstring injuries, I'm sure. Jadarian Price looks explosive. So does Jabron Payne and Kudrin Young all look good. D-line room looks to be solid. I think the backers room is really deep and looks good. Same thing about our safeties. Unfortunately, Kennedy Urlacher transferred, but I really liked what the safety and secondary room showed, especially after all the departures we had to the draft. But Notre Dame looks to be a tough team this fall, so I'm really looking forward to the season this year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really watch anybody else's spring games, but I know Tennessee and Ohio State did. Julian Sayin had a really good day for Ohio State, and I'm sure one of the freshman receivers had a really good day too.
Yep.
He had like 5 catches, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Ohio State looks like they got their new number 2 receiver underneath Jeremiah Smith. So that'll be a dangerous thing to look forward to if Julian Sayin is actually everything everybody talks about and lives up to the hype.
Yep.
And then Tennessee, we got to see the first look at Tennessee's offense without Nico Iamaleava. So from what I see, it wasn't anything. Didn't look like it was that big of a hit, but you could tell like there's a little bit of a different pace and freshness under center. Yep. So, and we'll see what Tennessee can get done. But there's any other comments, Alex? If you want to tell us what we're doing this weekend, you go ahead.
Oh, so Isaac and I are going to go to the University of Michigan spring game for this weekend on Saturday. We're going to see our first look of Bryce Underwood versus Jaden Davis. Apparently that quarterback battle has been super tight, and it's against 2 people right now because of Davis Warren being hurt and the Fresno State guy being hurt, but it's super cool. It's going to be super fun to see the freshman phenom Bryce Underwood finally get a some action in the big house and under the maize and blue helmet.
Let's see if he lives up to the hype.
Yeah. I guess I have one comment to say about that. There was a picture floating around of Bryce Underwood that people are calling him overweight, and I forgot to realize that everybody on the internet is a nutritionist. So obviously Michigan is trying to bulk him up so he can be help with injury prevention, as he was super skinny coming out of college. And that was something I was thinking. We all knew that was going to happen. I mean, Isaac, you've had this transformation happen before for you as a college athlete, so I'm not really too worried about it. It's just a bunch of bum-ass Ohio State fans that can't have anything else like good in their life they want to make fun of. So, yeah, I'm super excited to go see Bryce Underwood in Michigan. What their
Looks
offense,
like a unit.
yeah, and the new revamped roster that University of Michigan has this year.
Yep. So, looking forward to that. All right, so that brings us to the end of the episode. If you stick around for this long, we have.
I got some things.
What?
In a few weeks, Isaac and I are also going to be going to the Detroit Sports Spectacular, where we will be looking around, and I will be finally, after a long-awaited, I don't know how many years it's been, getting my J.J. McCarthy jersey signed. So that will be pretty fun to go to. I hope we see some fans there. If you see us, say hi. Don't be shy. We're not mean. I promise. We're not big celebrities. So if you see us there on May 31st, say hi.
Just don't say hi when Alex is getting his jersey.
Yeah,
signed.
don't bother me when I'm in line to see JJ. Just don't do that.
Our autographs are free, so you don't got to pay anything.
Oh, yeah. All you got to do is buy a $15 admission fee, and then you'll get a free autograph from You Don't Know Ball.
But,
yeah, why don't we have a booth there? What the heck?
Yeah.
Where's our Natty Light trailer?
Yeah.
we didn't get an invite.
$10 for parking kind of stretched it out a little bit.
But all right, so bring us to the end of the episode. Caleb, let's get into our first round picks for the NBA playoffs.
Alrighty.
We'll wrap it
well,
up here.
Of course, we have to start with the play-in games that happen tomorrow. So we got either the Mavericks or Grizzlies. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna roll with the Mavericks. I don't know. You can't go
It's
against
a good
Ja.
story,
I feel
man.
like
It's such a good story.
I don't know. You know what?
I'll take the Mavericks.
I'm gonna take the Mavericks as well.
Well, damn, I was gonna take the Mavericks too. No, I'm going Mavericks. I was thinking I keep thinking but what if the Grizzlies? But I gotta go with my gut here. It's such a good story. They played so good against the Kings. Grizzlies just lost. It's a momentum thing. I think the Mavericks are gonna sneak in there, man. Anthony Davis is playing his freaking balls off right now, so they're looking good. But yeah, you guys picking Mavericks too then?
I think so.
All right, it's a You Don't Know Ball lock. Lock it in, everybody.
Lock it in. You're gonna win money.
The last play-in game
maybe
is Hawks versus Heat, and what do you guys think for this one? Trae Young and company versus Tyler Hero and Bam and the rest of the Misfits.
Hey, don't be forgetting about Duncan Robinson.
Give me Duncan Robinson, baby. Let's go blue. I got Miami.
Hey, I'll say go more turquoise blue. Jaime Jaquez Jr., baby.
Ooh.
Give me the Heat.
As much as I want to say Trae Young, I'm going to take the Heat as well. I don't know if Trae Young's got the best supporting cast around him. But,
No, he doesn't.
So I'm going to take the Heat.
Hawks have a lot of injuries right now that are
Vince Carter
setting them back too. And the Heat have another one of my favorite players with Andrew Wiggins too. So I think it's just another thing where Hawks just got beat really bad by the Magic, and Heat just won really big. So it's just they have more experience. Hawks do not belong in the playoffs. I'm going to be so mad if they make it over the Heat.
The Heat have a better trio of players than I think the Hawks even have. So I'm going to take the Heat.
Alrighty. So we can get into a more obvious one here. So then it would be Cavs versus Heat or Hawks. I think Cavs probably sweep that. I mean,
I also think the Cavs.
I would love to see the Heat there. Don't get me wrong, but they're getting swept no matter what.
Yeah.
give me Spider-Man to sweep the Heat.
All right. What's the next? Okay, this is a fun one. Bucks and Pacers.
Ooh.
And Damian Lillard just got cleared, so he's back.
Ooh. Give me the Bucks. I think they're
all right. Do you think they're gonna do it in 5, 6, 7?
I think they'll do it in at least 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Pacers. I like Pascal Siakam and I like Tyrese Halliburton, so give me the Pacers.
Once I heard the
6.
Once I heard the Dame news, I had Pacers winning in 6 originally, but now that I heard the Dame news, I'm gonna have them win in 7.
Ooh.
So, Pacers in 7 for me. But this is where our brackets deviate. So, go ahead and follow along with whoever you got.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one would be Knicks Pistons. I said this one earlier. I got Knicks in 5. I'm just not. I'm optimistic about my team, but I'm not crazy. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm going to take the Knicks too, but I think it's going to be. I think this is the one series that's going to be that one first round series that just goes to Game 7 and no one really realizes it. So I'm going to take the Knicks in 7.
Fortunately for our podcast, I'm optimistic and crazy, so I'm going to take the Pistons in 7, and I think that I don't know who's on that team. I think they're going to get it done. The bad boys are going to get it done.
Isaiah Thomas still on there?
Yeah, Isaiah Livers.
Yeah, Isaiah Livers still. Yeah, all right. I like the picks, boys. I really do. I really hope Alex's bracket is right so far. And then the last first round matchup in the East is Celtics Magic. And this one, I also have the Celtics winning in 5. I think it could be a sweep, but it'll probably get to 3-0. I think they'll take a rest game, let the Magic get one, and then they'll just kick them off to the street in Game 5.
I'm taking the Celtics in 5 as well.
I am also taking Tatum to take over in 5. Yep.
Ooh, a lot of tease there.
Tatum take over in 5.
All right, Alex, let's get your expertise on Warriors Rockets.
Batman Robin. They're gonna take over in 7.
In 7? Okay, I like it.
I know they say don't bet against Steph because you always got a chance with him, and I know the same way about Jimmy Butler. But I still, as much as I really want to take the Warriors so bad, but
is your gut telling you to take the Rockets?
My gut's telling me to take the Warriors, but my head's saying take the Rockets. But give me Warriors in 6.
Oh,
Isaac, I'm tailing on that. I got Warriors in 6. I think Rockets are far too young. They're going to end up just like the Thunder, but worse. They'll lose first round to this Warriors squad for sure.
I completely agree.
No matter what they throw at Steph, I think this is a series where the Rockets could win Game 1 very convincingly. But, dude, Warriors, it's going to be a thing where the Rockets win Game 1. Everyone's going to be like, oh, Warriors, they're done. It's over. Warriors, never had a chance. And then, dude, Warriors could rip off 3 straight and just shut everybody up. It's that easy for them. Let's see. Let's go to Thunder sweep for me.
Yeah.
On anybody.
We don't need. Yeah.
Hammer that.
Yeah.
Next. Hammer that.
Next one.
Next one would be Lakers Wolves. We didn't talk about this one earlier, but Lakers versus Timberwolves. That's probably gonna be. That's another highlight first round series.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers in 5.
Isaac is following his brain rot trend on this one, so Lakers in 5 for him.
Lakers in 5.
Alex is too.
I'll go Lakers in 6.
Oh.
And then we got Nuggets Clippers, and I talked about this one earlier, but I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts first. I know you probably haven't been following them that much, but what do you think? Nuggets are the 4th seed, Clippers are 5th.
Okay.
Is Kawhi playing?
Yes.
I think go ahead, Isaac, sorry.
How's Kawhi doing?
He's doing really well. The Clippers have finished I think they finished 12-4 to close out the regular season.
It's a good momentum. Give me the Clippers. No, I can't. Give me the Clippers.
You took that back so fast.
I'm gonna take the Clippers. I'll take them for you, Isaac. There you go. I'll take it the Clippers,
right.
and I'll take the Clippers in 7 just to be safe.
Nuggets in 5.
I got Clippers in 6, man.
Woo!
We got some differences here. I'm excited for like 2 weeks from now to just see it, like how like good we all did. Like this,
and then I'll be over. What the hell was I thinking?
Luckily for the pod, I am crazy and optimistic. that was funny.
But all right, so that complete our first round picks. I think so.
I have an edit to make. Lakers in 7, not 6.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Lakers in 7. All right. So those are our locks for the playoffs. Let us know what you put in, what you predict in the comments. If you listen to this point of the podcast, you better. This podcast was a banger. Banger episode.
It was pretty banger. We covered like probably the most we've ever covered in one episode.
Yeah, and we hit the over on the hour mark too by 5 minutes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, done then. All right, bye. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody listening to this point. We appreciate all the support we've been getting. Keep commenting. We know that most of the comments we get are not so supportive, but guess what? You still watch the episode, so that does support us. But remember, we don't know ball. You don't know ball. We all don't know ball. And go get your merch.
Yeah. Go blue.
See ya. Peace.
Peace out.